at this tournament so far. It's had 5 games and 5 wins.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, he's got his work cut out for him this game. There's a Centaur Stampede to help catch him, as well as a PL who could just run him down with Phantom Rush.
And Death Prophet is plenty mobile, right? With the increased attacks or movement speed you get from Exorcism.
True. She's okay, but she has a really rough time up against Medusa in the game. I think Stone Gaze is just really, really strong against her, as well as Mystic Snake.
Okay.
And she is actually like, if you had like a mid lane matchup of Sniper versus Death Prophet, that is Sniper favored because Sniper just outranges her. So she has to like run in really far, and she has to run through all of Sniper's shrapnels and right clicks to get in. So.
And it will be similar if the Sniper gets Ags later on to the game, right? It's going to be hard for Death Prophet to feel confident running in when there's a 600 damage nuke with a 1.6 second stun.
He does have 2 saves though, and if Centaurs sometimes get like really, really tanky. So if Funnick can have a really good game where he can actually be a legitimate frontliner for his team, NIP doesn't have an overwhelming amount of damage to kill him if he gets a Crimson Guard.
We have you marked the Blade now, where this Medusa can't really help but put damage into it. That's very similar with Centaur, right? When she's throwing out this damage, she is going to be taking a decent amount from Retaliate. She can't really help that.
That's true. That's true. And I think Blade Mail was great, but this game I think Death Prophet will probably go Yules. Last game it was probably just because they had Shadow Demon. Yules is kind of useless.
Yules can dispel the Corrosive Haze until you get the talent. You've got certain things that are
silence. You can help delay your life if you're coiled, something like that.
You can so apparently you can technically break the coil with Yule's Scepter. I think it was Jenkins who told me this. So if you go like to the far edges of the coil just before it snaps,
and then go up,
and you Yules yourself, the Z access will break the coil while you're invulnerable.
Damn, that is some nerd shit right there.
Yeah, that's Jenkins right there. He knows all that little shit. Sineko being run down by a Bane. One of the most annoying heroes to fight up against. So they are going to be aggro tri-laning, and they're going to give the 1v1 at top. Yeah, looks like Sineko's just eventually going to die here unless the magic missile. He does have a fairy fire, so if he gets around this corner, he should probably be fine. Yeah, Miposhka is going to give up, but the 1v1 of Slardar versus Centaur. I presume that's Slardar favored.
You're the offlane expert. These are both your heroes.
Yeah. I just don't think I've ever played this matchup.
I think it's actually Slardar favored.
Yeah.
He's really good against melees.
Yeah. Like, what is Retaliate if you're only hitting him with bash damage every time?
He might be dead here. Yeah, the Slithering Crush having a movement. This matchup is going to get rough.
Yeah. They may want to try and dual lane or something, because it's looking pretty bad right now. Our mid lane matchup, is that going a little bit better? Let's check out the CS, shall we? As Death Prophet 7-3, 7-1.
Yeah, I'm not sure how this matchup will go. I think it's overall pretty good for Death Prophet, just because she's going to be able to pressure Puck's tower, whereas Puck would probably prefer it to be rotating and setting up kills on the map.
Nyx, he actually killed the range creep, giving Roger level 2 to get the disruption and 4 stacks rather on Sineko. Either way, 4 or 5, it was enough to get the kill.
This is normal. Snipers get headshot at 1?
Yes.
Okay.
I was told by a sniper player that it was because shrapnel level 1 damage is pretty bad. So your lane impact is best with boots first and headshotting people.
Okay. I'll buy it.
Okay.
Never mind.
Why did he do that? He pretty much just gifted that kill to him.
He had 2 salves on him.
He just walked into the stomp. Oh, Saberlight, that was greedy.
Oh, a little bit of an equalizer there. Favors the Centaur though, right? It's still pretty even.
Yeah, it's surprising. Centaur is actually up in CS right now, despite that early death he had. But I guess Sineko
going to die, maybe.
Chase down, and the last Lance will get the kill. Miposhka and Sineko, both in 5 positions, going down. Power Rune First one about to spawn. I wonder if Arrow's going to rotate over to try and secure it for the puck, or if it's not even needed, just because Death Prophet may not have the mobility to secure the rune.
It depends. He might just guess. No bottles up yet. Either way.
Yeah, I guess it's not that big of a deal when it doesn't represent an extra like 200 health and mana.
As long as it's not double damage.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Arcane Rune is still nice. It's going to help him, no doubt.
Well, that's a new cosmetic there.
The puck wings?
Oh, I was going to say the Mystic Snake animation.
Oh, I didn't see that. Let's check it out.
All right, get me out of this one. Hey, listen, I don't want to see Giant Medusa on my screen. Roger, they try and go on him and quickly realize that it's really scary to fight into this Phantom Lancer right now. He's level 4. His supports have been playing outside of experience range, so he is a pretty potent core at this point, where Charlie is only sitting at level 3.
Yeah, PL can take over this lane. He's got a huge base damage advantage over the Medusa. Very hard for Medusa to contest these CS and denies.
Yeah, and it feels like he's going to be more effective at fighting or doing damage on the supports, right? Multiple Phantom Lances and Phantom Rush is a serious threat. Are they going to be able to have a stun from Aposhka? He gets the bounty rune before he's stunned now. He's very likely suiciding here as long as they get the headshots to slow him down just a bit further. Or an orb from the top. Supreme. He makes sure to lock down the kill for them. 3-3 now.
Not too bad though. We got one of the bounty runes. You know, it's him getting the bounty rune and yet also denying it from his opponent, and also just more space for PL to get ahead in lane.
Attempted a magic missile. Nick's fast enough with the doppelganger, and that's going to be a bit of a problem. They do have plenty of instant lockdown though, thanks to the puck. And it's always one of the notorious Phantom Lancer counters, both between the silence and all the AoE burst you have, as well as the coil.
He's got the new Dream Coil icon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's that giant flower. I do not like that. It is way too big.
I want to see it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, you'll see it, and I hope you will agree with me in that it is way too distracting. Sineko, 3 stacks of poison and nowhere to run to, will die. This tri-lane on tri-lane doesn't quit when it comes to support kills. Supreme, he's going to make his first rotation with a coil.
Oh,
there's
so
the Giganto flower. Coil and silence. He's going to wait out the coil, see if he can get away with the doppelganger. It's actually still on cooldown, making it even worse, or an even more opportune gank, let's say, for Supreme. Nicely timed.
How could you not love that?
As a caster, I want things to be clean as possible, and that flower is very distracting. While he was away, though, we did pop Exorcism for Kasani, and he did a little bit of damage to the mid tower, but it looks like the Venge was there to pull some creeps off, and Supreme very quickly was able to make his way back thanks to that haste rune. So, little trade. Still, though, HellRaisers are up in CS across the board. All 3 of their lanes are winning.
Centaur's still a little bit behind on the net worth, spending a bit of gold on regen.
That's true, yeah.
It's not so bad. This is a tough matchup for Centaur, but he's got to be quite happy if he's asking PL, hey, how's your game going?
Yeah, certainly. Funnick turning around. Nice stomp right in tower range, and Saberlight again. His greediness is going to get him caught. Funnick coming back into game 2 with the laning phase vengeance. Let's see if he can continue that with his rotations later on. That was the downfall of Funnick in game 1.
You very rarely get to see matchups like this, like true 1v1s in side lanes between like 2 offlaners, right? It's like, it's pretty cool.
I guess Funnick is just the man.
Yeah, he's coming through in the clutch, certainly in a bad matchup.
I thought Saberlight was handling him, and then all of a sudden Funnick killed him twice.
Another coil, another freebie. The invisibility was snuck up by Kastani in the top lane. Trade-off is Roger dies at bottom. Which do you prefer in this matchup? Not about the laning phase, but about the, like, puck can rotate and have impact in side lanes where Death Prophet's pretty poor. But at the same time, Death Prophet takes advantage of the puck being gone from lane by pushing the tower.
I kind of mentioned it earlier. It puts a lot of pressure on the puck. So when he does these rotations, he has to connect on the kills. Which he did kill the PL, but PL's, you know, PL was already kind of low HP, you know. He died, he comes back, he spent some gold. He's still just here farming.
It can be very deceptive, right? Like killing a hero, but then if he comes back into lane full health, full mana, and is uncontested.
What's really great that you can do for if you're a mid laner and your side lane is losing is you come gank their lane and then you go into the jungle and you just kind of do like the hard camp and the small camp, and you never really leave. So when the PL ports back in, you just go kill him again.
And then his game is ruined.
Exactly.
He has to do the walk back.
But because Death Prophet is pressuring your tower on mid lane, Puck feels like he has to leave bottom. Then again, making the free lane for PL once again free.
Right.
So the gank is great, but it doesn't really achieve that much.
Ninjas the Pyjamas do at least have somewhat of an answer to that, in that Puck can now be free to move around the map if he wants to, because Medusa can now park herself in that mid lane against the Death Prophet.
Yeah, this is much better. And Medusa versus PL is actually top.
A lot of minus armor between those two, but Funnick is very tanky, and he's got the chainmail from Phase Boots that is allowing him to stay alive for a while, but Supreme finally comes in with a finishing blow. Can they get Miposhka as well? Nope, Kasani is here. And he stops him with a silence, but not a rotation you feel too great about.
10-minute outposts and bounties.
Uh-oh. They wrapped around and caught Kasani here. Miposhka, he's like, I'll try and save you, buddy. But now he's probably going to be a victim of this brutal aggression from Ninjas of Pyjamas. They're just running heroes down left and right. That is the 8th kill for them.
Yeah, big mistake by the Death Prophet there. Just kind of forgetting that NIP just had 3 heroes in this top lane.
And they certainly took advantage of that high ground vision that they had placed to see the Death Prophet trying to rotate back for the bounty rune. Nice play by them.
Yeah, Death Prophet is quite susceptible to that physical damage, and Dire has a ton of it.
Once again, Ancient Stacks going uncontested. This is the part of HellRaisers' game plan that I feel like they haven't fixed really at all. I guess Centaur Death Prophet is supposed to be able to take towers for you, and then that would lead to the invasion of the triangle, but so far they haven't managed to take that. Medusa is totally free farming as a result. If anything, it's Ninjas Pyjamas who might just be able to get a tower here, swap back into a coil. A Stampede breaks it, and that is a potent amount of damage. The Corrosive Haze minus armor of the Venge into a bash. Turns like a 300 damage nuke into a 500 damage nuke. Now Roger's going to be feeling that same pain, and maybe Miposhka is going to be bailed out by Kasani, who's going to run down Snako, but popping into Exorcism to trade a 5 position for the 2 deaths of the Centaur and the Rogers for Shadow Demon can't feel good.
To me, it seems like NIP is doing a much better job of playing together. And I know they're not 5, they're not even 4. Deuce is jungling and Sniper is holding this bottom lane, but the trio of Venge, Slardar, and Puck are playing together, and when they find an enemy hero, they kill that hero instantly. HR is getting caught off guard. They're reacting, and they're just making tons of space for Medusa at the moment. And this matchup, PL versus Medusa, is, I would say, somewhat PL favored in the late game, but Medusa definitely has a timing where she can handle the illusions of PL, and it's going to be like Mask of Madness Manta, or you skip Manta plus whatever item he decides to go next. Maybe Rapier plus Aegis.
Yeah, I think that would be a nice timing, right? Just try and finish out the game before Phantom Lancer gets to his heart territory.
Yeah, I don't know if the Deuces are still doing that, but it would be. I mean, I'd be down to see it.
Yeah, certainly. I'm always down with Divine Rapier. Miposhka going to be run down again. They just keep on rotating into their own safe lane like this, and I think HellRaisers are just not really expecting this constant aggression. Normally, you rotate into the enemy safe lane, take that tower, but Ninjas of Pyjamas, they're merciless up here.
They're very close to PL's Diffusal Blade, which, because he went Diffusal Blade over Yasha, it kind of clues me in that he's looking to get active and fight. So that'll be one of their first spikes,
okay,
where they can get something done. DP also kind of getting close to Yules, but that's not a terribly impactful item, more of a defensive item, just makes him stronger in fights. But I do think that they need to make a smoke and go for this mid tower sooner rather than later.
Yeah, they just keep letting themselves get picked off over and over again. Not only is it leading Ninjas of Pyjamas into a heavier net worth lead, but the Medusa is also free farming during this time. So they got to get active. It's going to start off with a pick on Snako. Would love to find more, I'm sure. Snako seems to be the sacrificial lamb every time.
And Charlie sees those heroes top, killing the Vengeful Spirit, immediately ports bottom and starts pushing the bottom tower.
He's going to find out about that Diffuser Blade on the Phantom Lancer pretty quick. So may not want to be here anymore.
Oh, grip on mid on
nice.
puck.
Fiend's grip. Do they have anything to stop it? Saberlight's trying to trek through. He does not have a bash let up, so
Huge.
can't even stop it. Anyway, Supreme, a dominating streak. I'll just give it away with that. Can they make use of this Exorcism, though? Can they actually do some damage on mid?
It's level 2 Exorcism. Go get the tower.
Yeah. They're going to teleport more heroes in. Funnick's like, okay, we got to use the rest of this Exorcism. Saberlight, he's going to fight back, though. And Funnick looking a little squishy here. The Assassination is not enough to finish him off, though. Now the Stampede is allowing Kasani to be able to run down these heroes with the Spirit Sight. But he's going to stay out of the hands of Saberlight, though, and while sticking on to Era. Charlie, though, is enough to force him back. He didn't even, did he pop Stone Case?
Yeah,
It looks like he did. So
Man.
maybe that's why.
Centaur barely lived. Slardar barely lived.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Still, that's got to be good for Ninjas in Pyjamas, right? If you ignore, okay, Puck got caught up by Fiend's Grip, but it's still another Exorcism that is claiming no objectives.
Killing the puck is good, no doubt. But yeah, they need to get this mid tower.
I'm going to see that one again. It's funny. He always just kind of runs forward, and that physical damage is extremely threatening. But this time around, he was tanking up.
Centaur is really underfarmed. He is not the tanky Centaur he wants to be at the moment.
Yeah, if he hadn't given away those 2 deaths, or sorry, no, he was the one who kind of won that mid lane, but still probably due to all the regen he had to buy.
He just got ganked top by Puck like 3 times in a row.
That's true. Maybe if he had a Hood Vanguard or something. I guess Vanguard. Crimson Guard is definitely the item in this game, right?
You know, that's why people said they didn't really like the hero, right? He needs a tank item and a blink dagger.
Yeah. Charlie, the analyst, has been very adamant about that.
Yeah, he's a Centaur hater. I love Centaur, one of my favorite offlaners to play. But
Same.
agreed, maybe a little bit too slow at the moment.
Plate mail up next for Kasani, so significant difference for this Death Prophet. 5 minutes ago, no Yules, now Yules and plate mail.
Yep, that's the puck kill, right? Doesn't necessarily make the Dusa weaker because the Dusa still has the map to farm, but definitely helps increase the strength of Radiant's lineup.
Roger making this Ancient Camp stacked up a little bit weaker for Nyx to finish off, but he is going to get caught by Supreme. Supreme should be able to get the kill with the coil, no problem.
Era's almost got his Ags. He's like 1k away.
Nice. That is so hard to push into, I think, at that point. Combination of the threat of coil, Medusa standing in front of the tower, and then Ag's assassination.
It's going to be tricky, no doubt.
And we haven't even seen the coil swap play just yet.
Yeah, so this game might just go. I think HR's goal of this game is just to go really late.
Yeah.
And if they can keep, it'd be nice to keep Deuce's farm like somewhat limited, so he doesn't really hit that that Rapier Aegis timing where he can walk down the lane and end the game before PL is 6 slotted.
But as it is, it seems like Plan A. And that's the difference, right? Game 1, it didn't feel like we had a Plan B. Plan A, they needed to take the momentum of the game. This game, if they don't get that momentum to taking towers, then they do have a fallback of the Phantom Lancer hard carry.
Exactly. That's the difference between this game and the last one, is that they actually have a good carry matchup. Weaver just doesn't really. Weaver's okay versus Dusa, but it's got to be Weaver plus someone else.
Starting off with the disruption, poking at him with the illusions. They say this is go time. The Stone Gaze immediately going off. Kasani does stare into it a little bit long, turns into Stone Phase, but he still has the Spirit Siphon on him. Charlie, they do manage to bring down Nyx. A big kill, and a swap back gets the Medusa away. A Fiend's Grip from a distance is going to be able to hold Saberlight in place, and Era, no stun to offer, but it looks like Saberlight was tanky enough to survive through that. He has drums, so an okay amount of stats, but it looks like they just didn't have the damage more than anything else. So, Supreme came in, got a kill, and immediately dies.
Yeah, great Yules by the Death Prophet there. Just Yules the puck immediately when he jumped in, and then got him with the silence after. And Funnick actually landed 2 big hoof stomps this team fight.
We'll see those hoof stomps again. Ninjas in Pyjamas doing a really good job of finding Nyx and then swamping Charlie out.
Yeah, Seneko played this fight super well. PL honestly just not playing with his team. You know, we kind of saw a little bit of that last game from Funnick. Just like PL's coming from this top angle. The rest of his team is coming from the tower. Puck just goes on the PL with coil and he dies.
And you said you've got like 2 different, like not the hardest saves in the world, but they're still pretty good. Nightmare and Disruption.
Yeah, exactly. If you play with your team, they can help you a lot.
He could definitely bail you out of a coil for sure. Well, Pupils gets it. That'll make Nyx quite tanky now. Aghanim Scepter is online though for the 4-position sniper. See if he continues his undefeated streak here at ESL One Birmingham.
He's swapping it out for the Aquila. Wasn't sure if he'd keep it.
Okay.
Give it to, I don't know. Maybe Death Prophet wants it. I don't really know. They're going back for the mid tower again here. Same setup as last time. Disruption to start.
This time no Exorcism up though, so that means it's a little bit more free for Ninjas the Pyjamas to be able to jump and take any fight they can get. It's going to start off with the coil swap onto Funnick. A nice use of the neutral item. Clumsy net helps them get that kill, and with 2 pickoffs, it's probably a tower.
Radiant's middle tower has
Yeah,
fallen.
Puck is good this game. It is a good Puck game. They have very little disables besides Bane. Pretty much impossible to stun Puck as Centaur. Death Prophet silence is okay, but Puck can... He is going Yules, so he'll be able to get rid of the silence. And yeah, whoever he coils is pretty much just dying to Medusa.
Yeah.
You can always swap out of the coil as well.
Yeah, ever since they added, when they initially took away the damage and then made the break damage that much stronger, it feels like any combo that forces a break on the coil is deadly.
Yeah, I love Shadow Fiend plus Puck. One of my favorites. The Requiem Fear.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Quite a fan of Dark Willow, just because that,
Oh,
that
yeah.
overlap is so free.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Era, he's going to be spotted here. Funnick, and may misclicked his Blink Dagger for a moment there, but gets it in the end.
Radiant structures are fortified.
The sniper dies, and Ninjas of Pyjamas. Not sure what he was doing so far away from his team, but they still try and go for it. But a precast of Miposhka hits the Nightmare Sleep before Saberlight can hit the stun. They're going to disrupt to be able to bail out Miposhka as well. Now Saberlight on the run. He's sprinting away. Sineko, is he going to be able to survive? Yeah, he's fine. That TP out is good thanks to the rain drop. He blinks over into the trees. They need the vision. They need the poison to spot him, but they couldn't get the Nightmare off. They dropped a sentry for that too, just to get the vision of him.
Smart play by Saberlight there, run into the Radiant base. PL's got his Yasha now. He's just about to. He has enough gold for his Manta style now. I think he still needs. Well, what is it? Maybe Butterfly or. Would he go Scotty?
Heart, it looks like.
Or
is the
Basher?
build-up.
He's going Heart? Okay.
Yeah. Just raw tankiness. Certainly should not be BKB because Supreme is already one step ahead in that. He's going Axe.
I guess he does need to live through coil, right? It's probably the most important thing.
Yeah.
You survive the coil, you can reset, come back in. Probably gonna have some long fights up against Medusa anyways, so
You can reset, send the illusions in while he regens back up.
Yeah, and sometimes Disruption, between Disruption and then the Doppelganger afterwards, sometimes it's enough of a timeout for your heart regen to start keeping it. Because you only need 5 seconds to stop taking damage for that to apply.
Yep, and especially when it gets 25, he's doppelganging all the time.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to like hit him so his heart regen stops.
That's why it's very important, I think, for Ninjas of Pyjamas to, at some point in time, pick up the pace. I don't think they need to rush things, but they are trying to finish up the Butterfly for
Yeah, he's going the Butterfly again, and we saw Sumail and Arteezy both do this build on Naga Siren yesterday. They just go Manta Butterfly. I wish I knew more about playing carry, so I could understand why they do this build. But maybe there's like something going on with agility.
Yeah, it seems like just one random thing. Feels like MKB has fallen kind of by the wayside as an item. And So there's not too many answers to that evasion. Obviously, it's going to be a great farming item for you.
Yeah, okay.
It's a good answer against Phantom Lancer, right? He just wants to right-click you with all these illusions to apply the mana break.
Yeah, no, I like your angle. Makes sense. Peel's not going to want to buy an MKB.
Yeah, certainly not. He is not an MKB hero. All right, Butterfly completes a smoke into an assassination stun on Kasani. Long-range initiation. Funnick trying to return, though. Does manage to hit the stomp onto Saberlight. Is that enough to bail out Kasani? The coil goes out. The Eul Scepter is in, though, in the Spirit Siphon. He didn't actually have the coil on him. He popped the Euls before it applied, so there's no snap, no damage, no stun, and he gets away. But the rest of his team does not. HellRaisers, they lose their 5-3. Is Kasani out with his Exorcism? He blinks away. Saberlight's going to be able to catch him, though, but they turn. Looks like Nyx is going to be able to turn things around. Lotus Door bouncing back the assassination, but it's not enough. He dies anyway. Kasani's down. Now it's just up to Nyx to be able to find some kills here. Supreme almost dying here, but the phase shift buys him enough time, and he's taking so much damage from Charlie. He's got to get out of here. The Doppelganger's not up. He gets caught.
Just happened.
4 dead, and all it cost them was the Slardar. A lot of close kills potentially there with their mid almost going down, Puck almost dying, but...
If you don't know where the enemy team is, don't be in the water.
Yeah.
The river is like the worst place to be in Dota because it's the lowest ground.
Yes. It's the lowest of the low grounds in the whole entire map, and it's right in the middle.
Yeah. And it was they just got way too far behind at the beginning of that engagement. Death Prophet had to play super defensively, and his teammates had to use all of their spells just to try and save him. So a little bit of bad positioning there from, was it Kasani? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hurting his team quite a lot there. That was a huge fight for NIP as they killed the PL. Dusa is on her way to her next item, and they might actually even be able to get Roche with the massive amounts of physical damage they have for it.
Yeah. Corrosive Haze turns any lineup into a Roche taking lineup.
Bench.
And bench. And they certainly had enough space after almost wiping HellRaisers like that. But they can take Roche on with confidence. Snake was just standing guard just outside to make sure they didn't smoke and immediately bum rush the pit. And if anything, he's in position to get a pick now. It's going to be Mahoshka. He gets caught. Era takes him down. You really need some levels, though. That is the one thing I find playing that sniper. Don't get that much experience.
I wonder if the next patch if they'll nerf Ghost Scepter. I feel like all of the position 5s are just almost rushing this item because it just gives them an extra 4 seconds of survivability in fights.
Yeah, and like one of the counters to Ghost Scepter is Nullifier, but that has not been a favorite item.
No. Necrobook is good though, but a lot of people don't even go Necro 3, they just go Necro 1.
Yeah, that's true. What other counters are there? Like, is there any other item counters? Not really.
No. Diffusal doesn't do it anymore.
No.
Can you offensively Euls?
I believe you can. That should apply the Dispel. Then at that point, it's kind of like the same thing, right?
Yeah, sort of.
It's like maybe you cut a second off or something.
Yeah, exactly. Not super useful. All right, well, he has Butterfly, Aegis, and he is somewhat close to Scotty. If he can finish his Scotty before the Aegis timer is too low, they might be able to force high ground.
I wonder if with the Scotty, if you go the split shot uses modifiers. That'd be pretty good against the Phantom Lancer. Applying the Scotty to all of his himself if they find him and all the illusions.
Maybe. 800 mana is a lot of mana, though.
Yeah, it's hard to say no to that considering 800 mana represents like something like 2,000 effective HP.
Sniper's owning. He sees anybody for a sec. He saw him on this lane ward here. Just sniper ulted, Puck follows up, dead.
Yeah. This is where I enjoy playing sniper.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I hate having slow lineups. I want a lineup that plays fast and runs at them. Because if I can see them and you have the follow-up, then it just feels like an unbeatable combo.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. And they're actually just going high ground without the Scotty. I think Shadow Demon is kind of the best option for HR to defend their base. Yeah, exactly. This right here.
And then they have maybe some follow-up with the Soul Catcher on him, but the Soul Catcher doesn't deal with the mana shield.
No, but the Dusa illusions do help quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
However,
he has evasion, right?
Yeah. That's a good point.
And so the Deuce illusions can't actually hit Deusa. Well, they can, but not as much.
Another good reason for a second item butterfly. Ninjas the Pyjamas up by 9,000 net worth here in Game 2. They already took Game 1 if you missed it, and it was a pretty dominant victory. HellRaisers, they're holding on a little bit longer than they did in Game 1, but backs are definitely against the wall here.
Just missed that lane ward on mid lane.
Radiant's bottom
Might
tower
cost them
is
another
under
death.
attack.
Farming up some Ancients means that they're going to be able to get all their neutral items. They spot the ward now, but see Maposhka, he is scared of sticking around for even a half a second longer to finish off that ward.
Scotty finished on Medusa as he approaches the bottom tier 3 towers.
This is looking like go time. You just picked up a fresh item while still having your Aegis, and now you've gotten a pick off on Roger, who was the best hero for defending these towers.
Dyer's
Yeah,
Charlie,
he bought back in
light
the
up.
last fight, so he's dead for 70.
He just walked through their base to mid, because that's where their creep wave is going to be at, so they're going to try and push through that lane instead. Crimson Guard now for Saberlight. That's another big power spike. This may even be their power peak meter.
I think it is, the Aegis. And PL's not really strong enough to fight up against this yet. Yeah, sure he is. Wow, aggressive
They're even
play.
going to try and jump into these tier 4s with the coil, see if they can burst down Nyx. But if he can get off this doppelganger and away to the fountain, this could be really bad, as they're overextending themselves pretty heavily and didn't get a core kill for it. Even the corrosive haze being bounced back onto Saberlight makes it so he's going to have to retreat. The Exorcism doing a decent amount of damage to him. They do manage to finish off that melee barracks here. Charlie still playing off his Aegis. Saberlight finds the initiation onto Kasani. They have a nightmare to be able to interrupt things slightly. A stun, magic missile onto Funnick, trying to hit the stomp. Does manage to land, but he goes down anyway. It's enough to be able to set up the kill onto Saberlight, though. And Charlie running low on mana here, and is eventually going to die. The bounce back assassination with the orb finishes off Kasani. Now they are going to be lacking damage here, maybe, to finish off Charlie, but disruption and a bunch of Phantom Lancer illusions? No. Nyx wants to head into the backline instead of dealing with the Medusa, but they have a second round of the coil. A swap actually onto the Medusa, bringing him right into the open arms of Nyx. He says, thank you, I didn't have the mobility to go anywhere, and now I've got a Medusa inside the coil with me. I can tear him to shreds. They take 3. Is this a turnaround for HellRaisers? They may have lost to melee barracks, but getting enough kills here. Nice. Sineko making the most out of his illusion, denies a bounty rune.
This was a fantastic fight for HR. The only buyback they used was on Centaur, and they managed to kill Medusa twice with the Aegis there. NIP made a pretty big mistake there. Supreme getting really over-aggressive, diving onto that PL who was not really stopping them from getting the barracks.
No.
And I think that's kind of the way you should have played it on NIP, is you just keep hitting the barracks with Dusa, you keep hitting the buildings, and if NIP or if HR tries to stop you, then you kill them. But if HR is just going to watch you take their buildings, just take their buildings.
Yeah, the way I like to describe it is, you are winning. Why would you do anything to stop winning? Just keep winning.
Yeah.
You're taking the melee barracks. If they're going to let you do that, then do it.
Okay, so what are the consequences of this mistake? Roshan is not up for a little bit here. PL is working towards the MKB.
Okay.
If he gets that, Dusa is no longer going to be that tanky for him.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. Like, her time of being able to hit tier 3s is going to be a lot more limited, right? Because those illusions will poke at her.
He's still 2,000 gold away, and I don't think he'll save for buyback. I think he'll just go ahead and just buy it.
Saberlight thinks it's best to turn into a frontliner, perhaps, as he's going to go the Aghanim Scepter, so he can just drop some puddles and sit there. Meanwhile, Supreme all out on the burst damage here. When he's caught the Phantom Lancer, he's going to try and push as much damage as he can with the Dagon 5.
Oh, it's really great for killing Shadowman and Bane as well.
Yeah.
Which
Kill
are,
some of those defensive supports.
Yeah, these are great kills to start fights with if you can.
4-man smoke up behind Charlie as he pushes forward. He did get the Stone Gaze duration talent. It's a pretty potent one because
They're going to drop a ward.
They're going to spot him, jump straight into the base, see if they can surprise HellRaisers, but they did have a formation that They were able to respond. Having their tankiest hero being gone on inside of the base is not that bad for HellRaisers. And Saberlight, maybe he's a little bit too far forward now. He's slowed down so much, but that's Scotty. Uh-oh. Corrosive Haze onto the real Phantom Lancer. He's in trouble, now trapped in by the Quill. A magic missile to keep him stunned a little bit longer. The Nightmare isn't enough to bail him out. Manta Doppelganger trying to jump away, but no, too much damage. He gets run over. Wave of Terror, now an assassination into the back line is Kasani. He's gonna be targeted. Saberlight is dropping a little bit low from the Exorcism. Yule's blink away. Kasani's actually out here, and the Medusa running low on mana. He's perched up, can't really run away that quickly. But thanks to the swap, he's able to get back, drops his item real quickly, heals up a little bit, and goes back in as Saberlight thinks he found an initiation, and it is enough to be able to kill the Shadow Demon, and Saberlight's out. Thanks to the Crimson Guard, he's able to make it away. They actually killed 2 there, with Funnick dying as well. Looks like Saberlight was not wrong in his read. It was a close call, but he gets out, they get 2 kills, and finally they can break open a second lane of barracks.
Suneko looks really impressive on this Vengeful Spirit. Everyone is playing pretty great on NIP, but I think he had a fantastic series on this hero. Definitely something to look out for as we see Vengeful Spirit continuing to win games here in the ESL Birmingham EU CIS region.